Yeah, I think what it comes down to is that, I mean, patient engagement is really, really hard. There is no silver bullet to say, all right, we've got 20,000 patients, and if we just deliver this one service, all the patients are going to pick it up and love it. I mean, you would declare victory on a patient engagement program if you can get sign-up rates of 5% or 10%. In a lot of cases, you'd be thrilled. And so one of the most important things to do is to not just run a survey of patients and say, what do you need? But you actually need to sit and watch them at different stages of that patient journey and have a really deep understanding of what that patient journey looks like for different patients. And not just what they tell you it looks like after the fact, but what it actually feels like in the moment as they're doing it. And that requires completely new ways of engaging with those patients just to even collect what their needs are. I think one of the other things that I'm seeing more and more of is it's not just engagement while that patient is on your therapy, but it's both before and after. And so if you think about indolent diseases where there's a long watch and wait period where the patient knows that they have been diagnosed with a certain condition, but they're not yet treated for it. There's a long period where they have an opportunity to learn about the disease, and different patients want to go through that learning process in different ways. And so finding out, what are the 5 different ways that patients want to engage with a pharma company to learn about the disease, and how do you meet them where they are during that phase is really important. And similarly, after treatment has been done, after the treatment induction, you have survivorship and figuring out how do you help patients go on and live their lives after they've been treated is another whole completely different problem where you need to sit with patients and understand what their needs are by watching them and not by asking them, what do you need?
So in that vein, would you say pharmaceutical companies are still kind of in the experimental stages of using them, or would you say that they've reached a comfort level where they're sort of fully employed?
I would argue it's still in the experimental phases, and it probably will be for a long time.
Right.
It's just the nature of the problem that there are. It's incredibly complicated, and as I say, it's not as simple as saying let's run a 50-patient ethnographic study. We'll create a nice 50-page PowerPoint document, and then we'll be able to say, here's the 6 programs that we're going to go out and make work. I think your point was very good that you just have to get out there and try stuff. And some things will have adoption rates of 10% or 5%. Some will be complete failures. And over time, you just hope that you can engage with more and more patients. But it's so tempting, when you're creating your slides, your strategies, to say, let's engage the patient. But by the patient, there are dozens of types of patients. And even when you think you've come up with a very nice segmentation of 5 different patient types, patients don't fit nicely into those buckets, and they don't always react the way that you think they will, or they don't get the same value out of the services that you would hope that they would.